Hi there and welcome to another Time to Fly Row Along workout where we fit in an amazing workout within round about 40 minutes of our day. Now today we're going to be working on a little bit of power and a little bit of speed, so hopefully you'll enjoy this one. We're going to do a 4-minute warm-up directly into a 30-minute main workout, followed by a 2-minute cool down, and we're all done with our day. How much fun is this going to be, eh? So let's get into that warm up and get our machines set up. Now we have to set up our resistance first. On my Avalon, I've got it set to 12 today, which I feel gives me a nice feeling with the stroke, but I don't have to heave against it. At the same time, it doesn't feel like I'm rowing through air. If I was on a Concept 2, I'd have my drag factor set to round about 130 to 140, because that gives me the same feeling that way. Next up, let's go to our foot straps, how high our feet sit in the foot stretchers. Now, what you're looking for is a position here where you're able to get into the front of the machine with your shins in a vertical position comfortably, okay? Pointing straight up. If you are set too high in there, you can get a little bit stuck here. If you're set too low, you can go past, your backside escapes from underneath you, you get a less effective workout, less speed. And who wants that? The ballpark here is that the straps should cover the balls of your feet, the widest part of your foot, and then you can adjust from there as necessary or depending on the shoes that you're wearing. All right, so if you are ready and you're all set up, we're going to get straight into this 4-minute warm-up, which remember then leads directly into our main workout. So let's get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So let's just get our bodies moving here. Again, you may be doing this in the middle of a main gym session or something, who knows? So you might be nicely warmed up, or this may be the first time your muscles are firing for the day, in which case you need to get your body opened up. And so let's start off just by thinking about that tilt forwards to a 1 o'clock position on the clock face. Get tilted over your hips, arms straight, and then you push your legs and rock into a opposite angle, which is 11 o'clock on your clock face. So if you can just think about rocking forwards and backwards at a nice slow stroke rate here to let you get into those positions, then you don't have to worry really about power yet. Just get that rocking motion in and your body will start to ease off, ready for today's session. We're going to do those 2 minutes worth of drills in about 45 seconds time, but just let yourself warm up. So today's session itself, we're going to start off with 3 minutes at low intensity just to get our bodies properly warmed up. Then we're going to do 1 minute at 20 strokes a minute low intensity, 1 minute at 20 strokes a minute max intensity, and then 1 minute at 30 strokes a minute max intensity. I'll explain why in the main session, but basically this shows you how speed comes from power and stroke rate. But we're going to take one more stroke and then we're going to put one foot on the ground, bump, continue rowing and get that foot on the ground. Don't have it waving in the air or something. You kind of want to rock onto your toes as you come forwards and then onto your heels at the back of the stroke. And that will help you with the pushing motion of the foot that you've got still strapped into the machine. Get that power in, open up those hips. Take one more here and then we're going to swap feet. One in, one out. Continue rowing, do exactly the same thing. And again, having just the one leg strapped in here is hopefully helping with your compression as you slide forwards, because you've only got one leg that might be feeling a bit sticky. And then each one of them will open up as you go through this drill. So we're going to take one more stroke after this one. Both feet in, strap them up again. Then put your legs straight and row with your back and arms. So that means swing your back, pull in your arms, out with your arms, rock forwards with your back. So your back leads first and then finishes, if you get what I mean. So rock, pull, out, rock. It's important that your back takes the power here. Right, we're going to take one more of these, roll into the front with straight arms and a forwards tilt, and just press out with your legs. All I want you to do is put in enough power so you connect here, but you can concentrate on your arms continuing to be straight and your back leaning forwards. I'm rowing a lot slower here because I'm just working on the feel here. How does it feel to hold straight arms? All right, let's take one more of these, and then we're going to get into 20 strokes a minute, low intensity, for 3 minutes. So, that was a bit of a race out of the warm-up, I know, but we're doing this at a low intensity. 3 minutes of this just to get our bodies nicely warmed up. So what you're looking for low intensity, if you work on an RPE scale, rate of perceived effort, that's roundabout, or exertion depending on, I've always called it effort. I know it should be exertion. You're looking for 5, 6 out of 10, where you are definitely putting in exercise. This is more intense than if you were just out for a stroll, out for a walk. Heart rate should be climbing. Breathing rate should be climbing, but then they'll settle down into like a nice low intensity. So if you use heart rate zones, you're really looking for this to be zone 2. Maybe it won't quite reach zone 2 after only 3 minutes, but hopefully, if you've done enough of my workouts, you'll have rowed at 20 strokes a minute low intensity enough that you know the ballpark pace that you're aiming for. Like, I know I should aim between 157 and 159, depending on where I have the resistance set on the Averon. So hopefully you have a kind of a reference point too by now. If not, then just do it by feel for the time being, especially as we go through this workout. Got 1 more minute at this warm up, or this kind of continued warm up, before we launch into the actual session. But as you go through this, if you've not really pegged a pace before, then look at how fast you're rowing right now, and then when we return to 20 strokes a minute low intensity through this workout, try to return to this pace, or if you think you're maybe a little bit too fast or too slow here, try and reset where you should be. I'll keep you right though, don't worry, I'll talk you through this. You know me, I ain't gonna stop talking. So we're not gonna change anything in 2 strokes time, we're just gonna continue here, but it is the start of our kind of rolling minutes. So we're still 20 strokes a minute, low intensity, so still hold your pace. Think about 1 second drive, 2 seconds recovery, and really concentrate on keeping those arms straight as you push your legs into the machine, pushing the machine away from you. Keep those arms straight for as long as possible, and that forwards tilt. And then about halfway through the leg drive, swing your back over your hips and then pull in your arms. And that's important because in 5 strokes time, we're going to go up to max power here. So I want you to have a good posture and push with your legs after this stroke. You ready? Let's go. So we're still pushing hard at the drive phase and then recovering slowly to keep this down to 20 strokes a minute. Take a look at your pace here. See how much you've dropped by. So I've gone from 157 to 145. And try and remember this for next time round. Now usually in previous workouts, I've followed this by going back to low intensity, but this time round, we're going to go up to 30 strokes a minute after this stroke. You ready? Right, let's go. So your drive phase here shouldn't be any real different, that's not right sentence. It shouldn't be too different to the drive phase at max power 20s. What's different here is the speed of your recovery. So where you were 2 seconds recovering before, now you're just 1 second. And that takes you up to 30 strokes a minute. And hopefully your pace has increased too. I'm down at 140. Okay, 2 more strokes. 1 more. Back to 20 strokes a minute and low intensity. Now don't be tempted to go too fast here. We're only 1 round in. Coming off that pace, you might be like, wait, I can row fast. But use these 1 minutes to recover, because we're just going to do it again. But if you go too fast here, you're going to blow up quite soon. So remember, all we're doing in 5 strokes time is pushing harder with the legs. 1 second drive, 2 seconds recover. After this one. You ready? Okay. So your drive speed may be very slightly faster, but actually, because you are pushing harder with your legs, you should be, certainly on the Averon or other fan-based machines, because you're moving more air, it will hold on to you. The weight of the stroke will increase. And you should still be running about 1 second drive. And it's the recovery that speeds up your stroke rate in 2 strokes time as we go up to 30. You ready? Here we go. So you are still pushing with the same amount of power. But if you can get the handle away from you quickly but smoothly, that helps trigger a much faster recovery to the front of the machine, and that is how you chop the stroke rate from, or raise it to 30 by chopping from 2 seconds to 1 second recovery. 2 more strokes, and then here we go, back, low intensity. Just ease off the power, slow down. Your recovery to the front. Now, what I'm hoping is that this is opening your eyes in terms of how you go fast. So many emails come in asking me why people aren't going faster than they are. And it's these two things, power and stroke rate. So we're currently at 20 strokes a minute, and in 3 strokes time, we're going to hold the rate, but increase the power. You ready? Oh, here we go. So, still at the same stroke rate, yet I'm rowing 12 seconds faster per 500 meters, just because I'm pushing harder with my legs. So where the low intensity, you could say, is the same as standing up, now I'm jumping up. I'm really pushing the machine away explosively. So we've got the power side of it in here, but a slow recovery. And now, after this stroke, we're going to speed up the recovery. So same power, but faster recovery. And it's also about not wasting time at either end of the stroke. So I'm trying to turn around from my recovery into the catch to pushing my feet as quick as I can, but I'm also making sure the handle does not stay in contact with my chest. 3 more. 1 more. Back to low intensity 20s. Ooh. Take a moment, catch your breath. If you really need to have a drink, these early on in these 1 minute recoveries is when you should be taking one, okay? As your heart recovers from the intense stuff. You should be feeling it right now. Again, you can tell from my speech pattern that I'm starting to feel it. This should now be a hard workout. Maybe not max the whole way through, but hard. Here we go. After this stroke, we are going to put in max push, but we're going to have a slow recovery. And remember, it's a dance, it's a rhythm with the machine. That powerful drive, and then use the handle away to trigger your forwards tilt, so you're in the perfect position before you bend your knees to roll into the front again. Oh wow, these are coming round thick and fast, aren't they? The next 30 is coming up in 3 strokes time. 1 more. Let's go. 1 stroke every 2 seconds. Ideally, if you are looking at the counter on your machine, you should see it tick over to a new second every time you get from the front to the back of the machine. I think I just went up to 32 then, I'm sorry. That's better. Getting a bit over-eager. All right, 5 more strokes. Last one. Let's recover. Now I do keep saying don't go too fast here, but at the same time, don't go too slow. You want to make sure you're still putting in effort, that 5, 6 out of 10 RPE, that pace that you set as your low intensity. Make sure and get back to it. You can rest and fully recover when the workout's done. All right, 3 more strokes. Whew. 1 more. Let's go max pressure at 20 strokes a minute. Because one of the reasons I've made this workout today is that I know lots of people just want to row fast. Do they think that by climbing on the machine and racing up and down, max effort, max stroke rate for 5 minutes, that they are improving? Now, it's not really the case, but I'm not going to argue with the fact that it's a lot more fun. Keep that power up. It's a lot more fun to row fast sometimes. If you want a tough workout and someone then says it's low intensity, it can be a bit disappointing. Okay, last one here. Back up to 30s. Full power. So, what I'm hoping is that the way this workout feels, you're actually looking forward to those 1 minute recoveries, because you need them, because you're working hard on these two. What I don't want is for you to be going soft on these two and then too hard on the recovery. That really doesn't help. All right, 3, 2, 1, back to low intensity recovery. Because you want to make sure you are burning one side of the candle. I'm back to the candle analogy. The low intensity side with this 1 minute, and then you're burning the opposite end with the 20 strokes a minute max and 30 strokes a minute. If you go too fast here and then too slow on the other ones, you're just burning the candle in the middle. That's going to ruin your candle. All right, 2 more here. Back up to max power after this one. You ready? Really concentrate on how that power feels as you push your legs. You should feel as though you're bracing against the handle. hard one to describe, but when you have straight arms, a good posture, and that forwards tilt, and you push your feet, you'll be hanging off the handle as the power floods into the machine. And then only at the back do you recoil the arms for a pull to the finish. Last one here. Back up to 30. Whew. Keep that power up. I want you to make sure that push is still continuing. So your power input is not really that much different from 20 strokes a minute max. The only reason you're going 6 or 7 seconds faster is because you're now putting in 10 strokes per minute more. Five to go. Last one, and back to recovery. The good news is we have 9 minutes to go, so 3 more rounds of this. With any luck, you're working hard enough that you kind of lost count. You're just following me and hanging on during this workout. Ooh. You can tell I'm needing to catch my breath, even at this intensity. One more here. Back up, max power 20s. Really use the recovery time to set yourself up for the perfect catch position at the front for the next stroke. This is where consistency comes from. If you can get into the front in the same position for every stroke, then you should be very close with each stroke in terms of pace and power. All right, 3 more to go. And after this one, we're back up to 30. Now, as long as you're getting the handle away from your body quickly and smoothly, and you're using it to create the momentum to take you forwards, then firstly, you shouldn't need to pull your feet against the straps, but secondly, you should be able to take full strokes here. Full slide forwards, full extension backwards. 5 to go. 2 more. 1 more. Back to easy. Oh, these 1 minute easy feel like they're only 30 seconds long, whereas the 2 max power ones, they feel like they're both twice as long. Obviously they're twice as long as 30 seconds, you get what I mean? They feel like they're 2 minutes. Never ask me to do maths on a rowing machine. 3 strokes time. Back up to max power at 20. One more. You ready? Let's go. Now this is where you need to dig in mentally. We've only got, how long? Less than 5 minutes of today's workout to go. So you don't need to back off. If it feels like it's getting tougher, that's a good thing. That means you've been putting in the effort. But remember, you still have a recovery minute in between. Ooh. So you can manage your paces. After this one, we're going up 30 strokes per minute. Take a look at your speed. Try to hit what you have before. And if you're not, take a look at how you're rowing. Are you still pushing the machine away with your feet? Are your arms still straight? Remember, it can be easy to get lazy and start pulling too early, but avoid that like the plague. Let your legs do the work at the start and your arms finish at the back. 2 more. Back to low intensity. We are in our last set. If you have a heart rate monitor on and you can see the graph in front of you, it should be a series of steady climbs with a drop when we get back to these. But overall, there'll be an upwards trend. And that means you've been putting in the work. 3 strokes time. Last one here. Back up to max power, 20s for the last time in this session. Because the rowing machine is the perfect piece of kit, if you ask me. But the most imperfect piece of kit is the bag of bones and muscles that sits on it. So you need to keep on top of your effort. No excuses. We've got just over a minute to go. You can manage that. Doesn't matter how you feel in the last 33 minutes. There's only 1 more minute to go. So let's finish strong. You ready? Let's take 30 strong strokes. It's at this stage in a race where I tend to close my eyes and just count the amount of strokes I think are left. Often I open my eyes and see I've still got 5 to go, but anyone can do 5 strokes. Even with if you hold your breath, you can do it. But we're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, now I felt in that last minute like my form got quite sloppy. I was diving in with my upper body, so let's use this following cool down to reset our technique. So let's get going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, like I said, I felt that I was diving into the front, kind of over-leaning, over-compressing in the search for more speed there, but it never comes, or at least it can come on a rowing machine for the last few strokes, but it's a really inefficient way to row. So any more than the last few strokes and I just tire myself out. And I certainly, if I was an on the water rower, wouldn't want to go anywhere near that technique. But as well as giving your cardio system a chance to just slowly ease down rather than just stopping, that's why you should always cool down, is to then put in some thought to technique. Because even at the end of a half-hour workout, like half-hour low intensity, I mean, it's easy to get sloppy, either because fatigue or boredom even. You stop concentrating on the right positions. And so, from a neuroplasticity point of view, making sure your brain remembers how to row, these 2 minutes are really important. Just remember, your muscles don't actually remember anything. It's your brain that remembers stuff. Muscle memory is a myth, but the connection between your brain and your muscles, that's what matters, and that's what we're working on here. I'm gonna take one more, just spill past 2 minutes. You, of course, do not need to cool down, or stop cooling down, sorry. You do need to cool down, listen to me. You have to stop just because I did. You can carry on going, certainly for the next 30 seconds while I say goodbye. So I loved that row. That mixed everything for me. That gave me the low intensity just to kind of work on my fitness. It gave me a little bit of technique work by going in max power, and it gave me that kind of fun zing by going up to 30 strokes a minute. So I hope you enjoyed that one just as much as I did. If you did, remember I've got a whole bunch of other workouts up here which you can do also and hopefully enjoy them as much as I try and tell you to enjoy them. So do check them out. Get in touch, let me know if you did enjoy them. If you've got any suggestions, hey, I'll take requests. Hey man, I'm a DJ. So I'm rambling, so I'm going to say goodbye. Go have a shower, have something to eat, have something to drink, not at the same time because I'll end up being a bit of a sloppy mess, and look after yourselves. Until the next time, please row well, be well, bye bye.